Hello, my name is Beth Daly. You probably don't know me, but I am from Norfolk, Virginia, and today I want to share with you why our white supremacist Discord getting deleted. I myself am not a white supremacist. I am a gamer. I love gaming. I've PC gamed for most of my life, and I guess I do have a bit of an accent. My grandma was from Kentucky, so I'm well aware of racism, and I hate it. I can't stand it, and I want to speak out against it. And I think that even though I talk like a Southerner, I am from Indiana. So like, I'm used to quiet racism, which a lot of people don't understand, and that is class warfare. And so the mission of my channel is really to just explain poverty and how pop culture, video games, they all kind of intersect in trauma. Class warfare, it penetrates everything in our lives. And why are white supremacists getting deleted from Discord? Okay. So we're going to go back and talk about story time. I have played Elder Scrolls Online most of my adult life. Is that okay to say? Hello, my name is Beth Daly, and I'm addicted to MMOs. I'm addicted to MMOs so much I have an Elder Scrolls tattoo on my leg. I love Elder Scrolls. So, it's hard to be a gamer girl and to be leftist and to be kind of liberal with a southern accent. I'm not well liked, especially if I tell people I'm pansexual. You want to really piss people off in the South, talk like a redneck, tell them that you're pansexual, that your partner is non-binary. That's a lot of division. And my thing is, like, I want to deconstruct what it is like to grow up, in poverty from the lower class perspective. Because growing up, I was the only white kid in my neighborhood. I grew up in Section 8 housing. And my grandma was from Kentucky, and she raised me for the most part, just like a lot of peers in my community. Their grandparents raised them. They didn't have a dad, so that's not exceptional. That's pretty average in Section 8, I would say. People I went to high school with, a lot of them, got involved with gang violence or have been shot or died. Like, these are just facts of what happens when you grow up in a city. Yes, inner cities. There's poverty. Poverty is traumatic, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about poverty and class warfare. This stuff gets me excited. This is liberal propaganda. I am the liberal feminist that your mama's warned you about, and I want you to know that. So when I talk about why are white supremacists getting deleted from Discord, I'll have I have a lot of experience with that. So for a little background, I'm a military wife. My husband was in the military. He is not anymore. He's a veteran, but my family, they're all military. You can throw a rock here in Virginia where I live, and it will land in someone's yard who is related to someone who is military or, is military or is the spouse of military. So when we talk about the military, you can't talk about the military and not talk about poverty. And I'm going to explain to you why. And why this has to do anything with Discord. You're probably like, what in the hell is this lady talking about? And I understand this is really confusing, so just stay with me. The poverty draft. The poverty draft is when rich white men or other politicians, they take the cream of the crop. So they're looking for those nerdy kids, those awkward kids, those kids who practice coding for fun, right? They're looking for those people in jobs who are smart and know they're being undervalued and underworked. And they're going to use them for the military industrialized complex. And that's just how it works. Poor kids have been fodder for the Republican base for years. I tried to enlist into the Navy myself, and I failed because, well, I'm profoundly mentally ill. I don't know if I mentioned that. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. You're probably like, what does this have to do with Discord? Now, you wait a second. I understand this is really confusing stuff. People who go to MMOs, they want to escape their lives, right? I wanted to escape my life, so I played an MMO for, probably way more than I should have. Like, I couldn't get an achievement in Elder Scrolls Online, so I got a tattoo on my leg to prove my dedication, okay? I can show you that. I'm very dedicated to Elder Scrolls Online. That is my brand. But I'm also very into world immersion and thinking about how poverty and video games intersect. So When I talk about why is Discord deleting white supremacist servers, the reason I bring this up is because I have a military background. My grandfather was a pilot in the United States Marine Corps. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why was there a pilot in the United States Marine Corps? I don't know. Google it yourself. His name is James William. He was a technical sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. Anyways, well, I never met the man. He died before I was ever born. But my mom talked a lot about Marines, and it is what it is. I got baby bootlicker all up over me. I went through baby bootlicker boot camp, if you want me to be real with you, and to go through all of that bootlicking stuff and bootstrap theory, and then be in Section 8 housing while your mom had a middle-class life and she grew up as a rich boomer. Oh my God. People, you don't understand how hard millennials work for what they have. We are underpaid. We know we're underpaid. We don't have time to go to college. We don't have money to go to college. Maybe we don't get to work at a gas station for, since we're a teenager and use all that money because inflation and buy a 4-bedroom house to support our family. Nah, fam, we got to get a coding degree or something. You got to make yourself relevant. And that's what sucks. Like, it costs money to make money. And we're going to dive deeper into my YouTube channel about poverty economics. I really want to explain how poverty economics and how grammar is classism and all of these things are really near and deep down to my heart. And I've been a writer on Medium, so I have a lot of opinions. I'm a writer, and I hate being seen. I hate being public. I don't want to show my face to anybody. I would rather hide under a blog. Okay, I like blogging. I do not like being in front of the camera. So with all that said, why is Discord deleting white supremacists? Well, I'll have you know that Discord does not look too mighty upon people who are white supremacists. And how do I know this? Well, when you're a liberal feminist woman and you are in a video game, people hate you, okay? I have gotten date rape threats to be drugged, threats to have people come and kill me because I'm a woman who plays video games. Do you understand that this is kind of what exists, and this doesn't exist in a vacuum, okay? People are really mean, and there's a lot of hate out there, and I want to talk about it. And in order to change the world, we have to examine it for what it really is. So I'm going to need you to understand that I'm a triggering person. I know I walk around and I piss people off because, honey, if you get pissed off by the things I talk about, then you probably need to check your privilege, because there's a lot of people out there who are minorities who are struggling. They are struggling. And I grew up next to them. So if you tell me that I'm negative because I'm explaining to you how hard poverty is, how hard it is to grow up and watch your family die, or to have your grandfather plagued by alcoholism because he was in World War II, and so, your mom has incest in her family. These are all things I'm plagued by, and they are white trash to the core, and I don't care. But I can't change any of that. All I can do is talk about it. So I understand that what I have to talk about is upsetting, and I'm sorry, but I'm here and I'm going to talk, and you're going to hear me because people are hurting. And part of hurting means that you are going to have survivor's guilt. And when you have survivor's guilt, you don't want to talk about the things that you do have. Like, I am very privileged in the sense that I can talk about things now that I've been through because I have a better income and I have been able to process my trauma. We don't know what other people are going through, and I'm not going to feel comfortable to tone police anyone. Do you want to know what anger looks like? Trauma. That is the number one trauma response for so many people. Veterans, people who are rape survivors, incest survivors, child abuse survivors. Trauma is a gateway drug, and we got to talk about that. If we don't talk about trauma, we're never going to address any of the political issues that we deal with on an everyday. Why? Because the poor are too tired, they're too overworked, too underpaid to talk about these things. Minimum wage, how are you going to pay for daycare, college, your rent and food and health insurance when you grew up poor? And rich people are like, oh man, you grew up poor? Have you ever tried being rich? Have you ever tried buying a stable support system? You want to know the number one problem for people to reoffend when it comes to crime? It's not having a stable support system. And people are not talking about these things enough. So I'm going to use my voice and my privilege as a privileged person who came from a, urban inner city environment, when you tell me that I'm being negative because the shit I have been through offends you, to quote Kendrick Lamar, you're saying that to everybody who's ever experienced poverty or class warfare. If you have ever not been able to pay your bills, if you have ever lost the lights on, you can't pay your bills, you don't have food for your family. If you've ever had to apply for EBT or food stamps, you are not alone. That is a cry for help. The fact that this nation continues to put people on a pedestal who have money is not your fault. You are surviving with the best that you can, and you're not alone. And I want to talk about trauma because my name is Beth Daly, and I have post-traumatic stress disorder from severe child abuse. And that is my story. I hope that you like this preview of what I'm trying to get my channel out there to be. My brand is suffering, and oh boy, the cup is just overflowing with suffrage. Growing up poor, oh boy, there's a lot of suffering material in that, and class warfare. God, Elder Scrolls video games. I have so much stuff to talk about. I look forward to all of you guys. If you grew up poor or if something you has ever said has offended a rich person, let me know, because I want to talk out about that. People need to know that poor people exist. And here's the thing. Poor people do not exist in a vacuum. Okay? We know rich people are out there. You know why? Because we're working for them every day. So if a poor person comes up to you and tells you that they are struggling, don't try to tell them not how to struggle. Offer what you can to help and sit down. That's what you need to do. For real. All right. Well, now that I'm excited, I hope that you beautiful, lovely, shining souls, have a great day. Gotta catch them all. Capitalism is an oppression. And that's facts. And I don't know how to end the live stream.